Good day. I got everybody messed up, I know, because I have it dated wrong. I have it dated for 18th, and it's actually the 19th. And I just realized that, so I'll fix that after Mass. All right. Today is the final day of this book, and we're going to get back to the website and back to really what we should be focusing on, which is the website and what makes it so powerful. So let's get right into it. We'll have our good day rising prayers. Hopefully everyone is okay, and I didn't totally mess up this live broadcast. Maybe Lorraine can check in to see if it's working correctly, because I don't see anybody saying hello yet. So, all right, let's get started with the good day rising prayers. In nomine Dei, matronam nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Trinity, and in Catholic contemplation, humbly venerate the Divine Family. And it is Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that Thou art here present. I venerate Thee with the deepest humility. I render to Thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to Thee. O Most Holy Trinity, I firmly believe that Thou art one Divine Family, consisting of Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I believe that Deum Iesum Christum died for us. O Most Holy Trinity, and relying on Thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to attain pardon of my sins and the help of Thy grace and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Most Holy Trinity, I love Thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because Thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of Thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven, and for the souls in purgatory. O Most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank Thee for all the favors Thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to Thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in Thy service. I consecrate to Thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by Thy love, or that would not tend to Thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Most Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O Most Holy Trinity, Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of Thy grace. Deny me not Thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which Thou forbiddest, to practice the good which Thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please Thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under Thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of Thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O Most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by Saint Lucia as the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended Thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend Thee, O Most Holy Trinity, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of Thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. In nomine Dei, matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Okay. I hope people are okay today. It's unusual that nobody else checks in, but we are live and we are working. Just to finish this off, this book, give yourself credit. Money doesn't grow on trees. David E. Robinson. It's not religious at all in nature, not Catholic in all in nature, but I did want to go over it for those of us living under this debt-based system, so that you can understand a little bit of why the Catholic monarchy and Catholic society would be the best. Okay, we wouldn't have all this craziness, all this deception, and all this nonsense, and all this paper. It would be more about living the virtues. So learn what those virtues are and utilize them. So like I said, tomorrow we'll get back to the website. I have to find out where we left off. If somebody can help me with that, that would be great. I think I have it still up on my computer. All right. Today we're going to talk about acceptance for value when you return it to the sender. And again, depending on who it is and what it is, and again, I guess it's depending on your experience with the IRS, etc. But it can be done either way. If you return it to the IRS through the U.S. Treasury, you don't have to send this introduction letter that I'm going to read to you that you would send to a corporation. The corporations are adamantly opposed to this, in the sense that they've been getting by for so long with their current procedures, even though they are operating in ignorance and out of the law. So again, there's two types of return to the sender acceptance for value. The first one is for rollover accounts. So, and you're gonna have to contemplate this and think about this. A rollover account is like a credit card that you want to keep the credit so that you can still utilize and purchase goods and food and stuff and items for your family. And so you would write accepted for value and consideration at an angle. Okay, it's not going to be for closure and settlement. Let me see if that's what the word was on the last one. Okay, this one, the one we first did was exempt from levy. Okay, so this is accepted for value with the addition of and consideration and returned for value. Okay, so we write on it accepted for value and consideration and returned for value per HJR 192 of 1993. Now you put down the exemption number so that they have some understanding of, okay, well, what is he saying? The exemption number would be the Federal Reserve Bank routing number and bond number. Okay, so it would be one number, a space, and then the other number. Now the Federal Reserve Bank routing number is the one directly appointed to your Social Security card that has your bond number. So how do you know that? So you take your Social Security card and you flip it over, and on the back you will see a red number on the back. That's the bond number. Okay, the routing number, it starts with a letter, and then that number is followed. That letter is followed by the number. With the letter and the number together, it's the bond number. The letter indicates the Federal Reserve Bank. Which one? Okay, so it would be A, B, C, D, E, F through L, and it would be the FRB, Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Cleveland, blah, 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 blah. And then this chart here tells you what their routing number is. that Federal Reserve Bank routing number. So that would be the first number. So you, again, like I said, per HGR 192 of 1933. Then the next line, exemption number. Then you have the Federal Reserve Board Bank routing number, and then the bond number. So you got two numbers. I'm going to show you those bank routing numbers. Let's see if I can see this and see you at the same time. Okay, so there's all those numbers. Let's see if I can back it up and get some more light in there. All right, let's see if we can stop now. Take a screenshot. Okay, so that is the bank routing numbers for the Federal Reserve banks. And again, the bond number can be found on the back of the Social Security card. The date is the next line. Month, day, and year. Then the following line is by, by, colon, with a line with your upper and lowercase blue ink signature, comma, agent. Okay, that's it. Now, for accounts you want to close, let's say you've got a loan to install windows in your house. Hint. You would accept for value and consideration and returned for settlement and closure. So they're going to close the account and settle the accounting to zero. And again, you would, the net would be per HJR 192 of 1993 under that. Then under that is the exemption number. Again, that's the Federal Reserve Bank routing number and the bond number. The date and the by, the signature with agent. Okay. On the coupon voucher, you're going to write, and again, because they're going to be sending you these coupon vouchers with their statements, you write in the amount in the space provided. You sign in blue ink on the lower right as you would a check, and you write your FRB, the Federal Reserve Bank routing number and bond number, on the bottom left. Okay. If your statement does not have a coupon, make a copy of the statement, accept it for value, write, W-R-I-T-E, write coupon or voucher, write the word coupon or the word voucher at the top, middle of the page. Then write your FRB routing number and bond number on the bottom left, and you only accept the front page. So you accept for value, you write that on the front page. Your bond number is the red letter and 8-digit number on the back of your Social Security card. I already told you that. And I gave you the routing numbers. Then you make out a 1099-A from the IRS in the normal way. I just ordered 10 of those. They don't cost anything. You go to the IRS website and you order them. And you mail it with your acceptance to the sender. Okay, so let's just say the bank that gave you the loan for the windows. Care of the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. Why the Chief Financial Officer? Because he's the one who knows how to do all this accounting. He knows about what's going on, and he or she is the one who has the authority to process these within that organization. All right. And it just gives an example of which I showed you yesterday. Notice of acceptance. So that's for a sender. When you want to send it back to the sender, you can have them process it. You can have the IRS process it. Now, when you send it back to the corporation, you probably should include a notice of acceptance for value letter. Okay, it's a notice. bold letters, notice of acceptance for value. You put your straw man's name at the top with your address and the date. And then just like a letter, you would put attention CFO, their name. It's important that you get their name because we're dealing with private people. The address of the corporate headquarters. This is where you're going to mail this to. And then you put Dear CFO's name. I accept the attached charge for value and return it for value discharged per Public Policy Insurance Bond HJR 192 of 1933 and UCC 10-104 and 1-104, which is my congressionally stipulated right. The United States Inc. created a tacit mortgage on my private property without my knowledge or consent and is using it as collateral for borrowing loans of credit and money substitutes from the non-federal Federal Reserve Bank. Under the laws of equity and the U.S. Constitution, the United States Inc. cannot take private property for public use and put it at risk as collateral for loans without just compensation and without providing a remedy for the recovery of accrued interest lawfully due me for the risk of its use of my assets and wealth. The provisions of this remedy are found in Public Policy HJR 192 of 1933, aka Public Law 7310-10, which suspended the gold standard and exempted U.S. citizens from paying their debts since the means of paying debts was taken away from them in 1933 and replaced with money substitutes that discharge debts in lieu of payment. Public Policy Insurance Bond HJR 192 of 1933 is a superior bond that provides a remedy for victims of President Roosevelt's fraud, unlawful conversion of their credit, and treason, and for Congress's complicity in these crimes. This unlawful conversion of credit created the exemption upon which this debt write-off and discharge is based because of the 1933 bankruptcy of the corporate United States, which exempts Congress from charges of treason against the United States and indemnifies me and other citizens for their loss. Your invoice is a negative charge to the debtor, my ens legis, government-created straw man, but a positive charge to me, a secured party creditor of the corporate United States. Everything in commerce under the UCC is reversed. A bill to your debtor, which is my straw man, is an offer of his credit to me, a secured party creditor of the corporate United States. I am accepting his credit and returning it to you as a mutual offset credit exemption exchange to settle your charge against his account. My endorsement of your presentment converts it into a money order promissory note that discharges your charge against my straw man with my mutual offset credit exemption exchange per Policy Insurance Bond HJR 192 of 1933. Your presentment, or bill, is a demand for payment in lawful money of account of the United States, postponed to when such lawful money is restored to circulation. When Uncle Sam prints a $20 bill, that bill must be paid by the corporate United States upon demand. Secured party creditors of the corporate United States can tender a mutual offset credit exemption exchange to fulfill his straw man's obligations to pay with his private personal credit. By accepting substitute dollars in lieu of money, we loan our private credit to Uncle Sam. Therefore, we are to be paid back corresponding, dollar for dollar, portions of our private credit on demand. Accrual income can be immediately added as an asset to an existing account because accrual income is accountable as soon as it is tendered and received instead of when collected. When a secured party creditor of the corporate United States purchases or subscribes to something that he needs, his mutual offset credit exemption exchange will discharge his obligation to pay in lieu of Federal Reserve notes, for no real money exists with which he can pay. The United States has a priority obligation to the secured party creditors of the corporate United States, and a secondary obligation to the non-federal Federal Reserve Bank for its obligation to compensate its secured party creditors for its use of Federal Reserve notes instead of cash. Commercial redemption is a legal administrative remedy provided by Congress on June 5, 1933, via HJR 192, to exempt Congress from charges of treason. It's their law, not mine. The collective entity rule makes a clear distinction between a natural person created by God and the fictional person created by the state. The collective entity rule was first articulated in Hale versus Hale. There's also one Hale v. Henkel, which I wonder if that might be a typo. In any case, it's Hale v. Hale, 201, U.S. 4326, subsection. Well, there's a bunch of numbers you can look in the book. The innocent individual who is harmed by an abuse of governmental authority is assured that he will be compensated for his injury, unquote, Owen. This is an administrative contract remedy. It is not tendering payment. And this is where I was getting things wrong. I was saying that we were tendering payment when in fact we were using an administrative contract remedy. There is no money to pay anything. Contracts are already in place in the background of the state. I am accepting your presentment and authorizing you to set off and discharge the debt with said credit. There is no evidence refuting the statements made in this notice of acceptance for value, and the undersigned believes that no such evidence exists. If you wish to dispute this notice of information, do not hesitate to timely reply in writing within the next 2 weeks. In witness thereof, I certify on penalties of perjury that all the statements made above are true, correct, and complete, and not intended to mislead. Very truly yours, John Henry Doe, secured party creditor, upper and lowercase letters. So that ends the book. That's a very powerful letter to have and to send to somebody. If you know of somebody in a corporation personally, hand them that letter and tell them how would they respond to that. Whenever I have sent letters and items like this, you get no response, or you get the same, oh, you have to pay your bill, you signed this agreement. Okay, and how do you respond? You think that's a response, but it's not a response. It's a no response because it didn't address any of the points in the letter. So it means that the letter stands. All right, and so you may refuse for cause their letter because they did not address yours point by point. All right, so that's an important one to remember. Refused for cause, because they're going to try to just ignore you and keep badgering you with their process. All right, let's get started. I know I'm over. Not really. Okay. And I don't know if I'm being blocked or banned or what, but, well, there are some people watching. Okay, good. Got a little indicator that tells me if people are watching. So let's get started with Mass, which is the most important thing. And there is a lot of sickness going on. I pray for those people. There's a lot of storm damage, a lot of struggles people are having. I also pray for Bob. And, there's so many that need help and prayers. Vem vobiscum et quo te. Oremus. O most holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indenius famulos tuus offeti tibi Deum meum vivum et verum pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus sed et pro omnibus fidelibus Catholicorum vivis ad coito fructis ut mihi et idis proficiat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dignitatem mirabilita condidisi et mirabilis reformaster de nobis spiritus ad quaturemis Deum, et divinitatis esse consortis criminitatis nostrae, fiat ili notis es patriceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum de peccatis clementium, ut conspectu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum et fiat sacrificium nostrum et conspectu tuo hodie, ut placiat tibi Deum matronam nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite plata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas concobulationem cum tibi afferimus amor passionis resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum matronam nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et ili pro nobis intercedere in inter in caelis, quorum amorem agamus in telis pedinum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut mem questrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nomini sui, ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque ecclesiae sue sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque pate, surusum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias sacamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te egetutor clementes in mater pater Deum matronam nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus et petimus. Uti accepta habeas, sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium ilibata. In primis qua tibi efferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore regere dignitis toto orbiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum Creatorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie, Gage, RM, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Robert Dasco Sr. and Jr., Letitia, Clarette, Mindy, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, the Cantu and Duarte families, Michaela McLarnon and family, Luis Antonio Cantu, Sarah and Becky, Janelina, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Line River family, the Dasco, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf, and Kane families, and Alex and Brittany Tafur. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society, full of Catholic virtue, strength and courage, wisdom and humility. We ask that all quote-unquote gay marriage, all pornography, and the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately and banned. We ask that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations everywhere and for all time. And we ask them to come to understand that raising of traditional Catholic families is a very high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a Catholic society, and that they give themselves value for that purpose, that everyone gives them value for that purpose. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. And we pray that people are protected from false animal medical declarations. We ask Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and recognize the authority of the Catholic Church to be in Fatima, Portugal. We ask you to destroy all forms of Freemasonry and its tentacles that are everywhere throughout the lands, and bring the members into the submission of the Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. And we pray that we all have courage as we go through these times. And we also ask that all these intentions be affirmed only according to the will of the Most Holy Trinity. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est nota devoltio pro quibus tibi afferimus, vel qui tibi affrontox sacrificium laudis, pro se suis omnibus, pro redemptione onomarum suarum, pro spe salutis et calamitatis suae, tibi credent volta sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Cum mercantes et memorum venerantes in primis gloriosae semper Deum Matram nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancta Petri, et Sancti Luci, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis praecibus cae cancedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae munum et exilio perennium Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblatione de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibum consecratum ac captabilem quae feceri dignitis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam patoretur cepit barnum in sanctus ac onabulis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum sum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit, fregit didiquilum sui dicens, accipite et mandocate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Similum lupus cum ceremoniae est accipium zerhum preclarum, calicem in sanctus ac honorabilis manus suas, idem tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit didique alumne sui dicens accipite et bibite exe omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Haec est cum quae feceritis in mea non facietis. Unde et memoris Deum nos servituis, et plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passionis nec non et ab inferis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosa ascensionis offerimus praeclare maiestati, tuae de tuis donis ac datis, supra quae propitio ac sereno vultur espiceri digneris, supplices te ragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ibi hec preferibile manus tuum ut quod ex apataris participationis sacrosanctam Deum filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus omni sanctificatione, calestia gratia Dei per amor per Deum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for John Nasser, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum quis gentibum locum refugeri, lucis et pacis et nodora est abracamur per Deum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Maternum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Deum Maternum nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuum in mulieribus Deum Maternum nostrae, Materam Deum Iesum Christum, ora pro nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis praeteritis praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Deum Maternum nostrae. Cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Periendum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Haec mixtio consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Maternam nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in hadare mandatis, et atinum quam separati permittas, qui cum eodem Deum Maternam nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere praesumon non mihi provini ad inudicium condonationem. Se pro tua pietati prosit mihi ad tutamentum mentis et corporis, et ad me delam percipiendam qui vivis et regnas cum Deum Maternam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Dea Maternam nostrae non sunt dignos, ut et surtetum eis in tanti diqueribus in paternam mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignos, ut et surtetum eis in tanti diqueribus in paternam mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignos, ut et surtetum eis in tanti diqueribus in paternam mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Qui retubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retubit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem in nome Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum Maternam nostrae, et ab inimicis meis avocero, sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Sumptumus Deum Iesum Christum Puramente Capiamus et Immunire Tepula Efficiomus Romanium Sanctiferium. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sonse sanguis quam mutavi adheri ad visceribus meis apraesta, ut in me non remaniat scelera macula quam purat sancta reficerum sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, most holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei, ite mis est. Deum gratia. Plagia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium corporis tuae maestatis in nos alteritibus et acceptablem quiet omnibus, pro quibus idut obdolicit miserande perpetuale per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O most holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinity, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart, and the immaculate heart of God, Our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, Matronam Nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your attendance, your perseverance, your patience. Please go and sanctify all those you meet. We'll start again back on the website and see what's over there starting tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Time. All right. Have a great day.